Begging the Alpha for mercy in desperation, she realizes it has a price. The night sky above Thornville Kingdom was heavy with dark purple clouds. The moon looked weak, like it was tired of watching wars, suffering, and broken promises between kingdoms. Cold wind moved through the dead black trees outside the royal city walls. It was a land that had forgotten happiness long ago. Princess Elira walked alone. Her silver-white royal cloak was torn at the edges. Dust from the long journey covered her royal shoes. She was not traveling like a princess should. No royal guards followed her. No royal carriage waited behind her. She had come to this cursed land with only one purpose: to beg for mercy. War had destroyed her kingdom. Thornville's crops were burned. Villages were empty. Children were starving. The enemy was not human soldiers. The enemy was something worse: the wolf-blood army that served the Alpha King of the Cursed Mountains. They said the Alpha King was not just a ruler. They said he was a nightmare wearing a crown of shadows. They said he never forgave his enemies. But Elira had no choice. If she did not come, her kingdom would be destroyed completely. She tightened her fingers around the small royal necklace hanging on her chest. It was the last memory of her mother, the former queen who had died protecting the kingdom from invasion. "I will not fail them," Elira whispered to herself. Her voice was soft, but her heart was strong. She crossed the final bridge that led to the Black Citadel. The Black Citadel stood on top of a mountain of dark stone. Its towers looked like claws reaching into the sky. Purple lightning sometimes moved around the highest tower as if the castle itself was alive and breathing. The gate guards watched her carefully as she approached. She was surprised they did not stop her immediately. One of the guards, a tall man with wolf-like yellow eyes, spoke in a low voice. "You are brave, princess, or very foolish?" "Maybe both," Elira replied calmly. The guard studied her for a moment, then slowly opened the massive black gates. Inside, the air felt heavy. Magic lived inside the castle walls. Old magic, dangerous magic, the kind that listened to emotions, fear, and anger. Elira walked through long stone corridors lit by dark blue fire torches. The flames did not move with wind. They moved like they were alive, watching her pass. Her heart beat faster with every step. Finally, she reached the throne chamber. The doors opened slowly on their own. The throne room was huge and dark. The ceiling was so high she could barely see the top. Black banners with silver wolf symbols hung from the walls. The floor was polished black stone that reflected everything like a dark mirror. And there, sitting on the throne of bone and obsidian, was the Alpha King. He was taller than she expected. His black royal coat looked heavy with war history. Silver armor decorated his shoulders and chest. His dark hair fell loosely around his sharp face. But what scared Elira the most were his eyes. Golden eyes, cold, powerful, watching her like she was prey, but also something interesting. "You came alone," he said. His voice was deep and smooth like dark honey mixed with thunder. "Yes," Elira said. She did not kneel. She did not bow immediately. She stood straight, even though her legs felt weak from fear. The Alpha King tilted his head slightly. "You should be afraid of me," he said. "I am afraid," Elira answered honestly, "but fear is not why I came." Silence filled the room. The Alpha King stood slowly from his throne. Every step he took made the air feel heavier. Wolves were not visible, but Elira felt their presence like shadows moving around her mind. "You are Princess Elira of Thornville," he said. "Yes, the last daughter of your royal family. Yes, you come to beg for mercy for your kingdom. Yes." He walked closer to her, not fast, slowly, like he was studying her strength and weaknesses at the same time. "And what do you think mercy costs?" he asked. Elira swallowed. This was the dangerous part. She had practiced these words during her long journey. "Mercy costs power," she said. "Sometimes land, sometimes gold, sometimes political alliance." The Alpha King laughed softly. It was not a happy laugh. "Princess," he said, stopping only 3 steps away from her, "you are speaking like a queen who still believes in fair trade." Her chest tightened. "Then tell me the truth," she said. "What do you want in exchange for my kingdom's safety?" The Alpha King studied her face carefully, not with cruelty, not with kindness either, something deeper, something older than war. Finally he spoke. "Your freedom." Elira felt cold fear move through her chest. "Explain," she said quietly. "Stay here," he said, "in this castle. For 1 year, no escape attempts, no secret messages to your kingdom, no rebellion. You will live here as my guest or my prisoner depending on how you choose to behave." Elira's mind moved quickly. If she refused, her kingdom would die. If she accepted, she would lose her freedom, but she thought about starving children, about burned homes, about people who still believed their princess would save them. "I accept," she said. The moment those words left her mouth, something strange happened. The air in the throne room changed. The Alpha King's eyes flashed with surprise and something darker. Ancient magic began moving around Alira's wrists, not physical chains. But glowing dark symbols of magical oath bonds appeared briefly before disappearing into her skin like smoke. She felt a sharp pain in her chest. "What was that?" she asked. "The magic of your promise," he said quietly. "You cannot break it." Outside the castle, far across the cursed mountains, a long wolf howl echoed across the night. The Alpha King's expression turned suddenly cold and dangerous. His golden eyes became sharper. "That should not be possible," he whispered. "What should not be possible?" Alira asked. But before he could answer, the castle walls shook slightly, not from earthquake, from something alive. Something ancient had sensed Alira's arrival, and it was waking up. The Alpha King stepped closer to her again. This time his expression was serious, almost protective. "You are not only here because of war," he said quietly. "What do you mean?" He did not answer immediately. Instead, he reached out slowly and touched the air near her shoulder. He did not touch her directly, but Alira felt warmth spreading through her body anyway. "You are marked by something older than my kingdom," he said. Fear crawled through her spine. "What does that mean?" she asked. The Alpha King's eyes darkened, but before he could answer, the castle doors behind them suddenly opened on their own. Cold wind rushed inside. And a voice, deep, ancient, and full of hunger, whispered inside Alira's mind. "You have finally come, chosen queen." Alira's knees almost gave out. The Alpha King turned sharply, his body tense like he was ready for battle, because he recognized that voice. And he knew something terrible had just begun. He turned back toward Alira slowly. "You should not have come here alone," he said. "Why?" Alira asked, her voice trembling slightly. The Alpha King's golden eyes burned like fire in darkness. "Because now," he said quietly, "you belong to two destinies." And outside the Black Citadel, the wolves began howling again, louder this time, like they were celebrating her arrival. Alira did not know yet that her greatest danger was not war. It was the secret destiny waiting inside her own blood. And somewhere deep inside the cursed mountains, something old and powerful was smiling because its chosen queen had finally arrived. The night inside the Black Citadel was never completely silent. Old magic lived inside the castle walls. It breathed slowly like a sleeping beast. Sometimes, Alira could feel it watching her when she walked through long, empty corridors. The torches on the walls burned with blue and purple flames that did not move with wind. After the strange voice spoke inside her mind, Alira could not sleep. She sat near the tall window in her chamber. Outside, the cursed mountains were covered in dark fog. Far away, she could hear wolves howling again and again. But this time, the sound felt different. It did not feel like warning, it felt like calling. Alira touched her chest slowly. The royal necklace her mother gave her felt warm against her skin. "I must stay strong," she whispered, "for my kingdom." But deep inside her heart, fear was growing. The voice she heard earlier still stayed inside her mind like a shadow memory. "You have finally come, chosen queen." She did not understand what it meant. She was not a queen yet. She was only a princess trying to save her people. Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her. She turned quickly. The Alpha King was standing near the door. She had not heard him enter. He was wearing simple black clothes instead of royal armor. Without his armor, he looked less like a war king and more like a tired man who had seen too many battles. "You should be sleeping," he said. "I cannot sleep," Alira replied honestly. He walked slowly toward the window. He did not stand too close to her. There was always distance between them, not physical distance only, emotional distance too. "The curse is waking," he said quietly. "What curse?" she asked. The Alpha King was silent for a moment, then he spoke. "My bloodline is cursed by an ancient wolf god," he said. "Long before kingdoms were built, wolf spirits ruled these lands. They chose kings, but power always comes with a price." Alira listened carefully. "The wolf god wants a queen for its throne," he continued. "Someone strong, someone who can control darkness, or someone who can be controlled by it." Alira felt cold fear move through her body. "And you think I am that queen?" she asked. The Alpha King looked at her. His golden eyes were very serious. "I do not think," he said. "I know." Silence filled the room. Alira felt angry suddenly, not at him, at destiny, at fate deciding her life before she even understood it. "I came here to save my kingdom," she said. "Not to become someone's magical sacrifice." "You are not a sacrifice," he said immediately. His voice sounded sharper than before, then he continued more quietly. "You are something more dangerous." Alira did not understand. The Alpha King turned away slightly. For the first time, she saw uncertainty in his posture. "I have seen visions of you since I was young," he said. Alira was shocked. "Visions?" she asked. "Yes," he said. "You were always standing in silver moonlight. Sometimes you were wearing a crown of wolves. Sometimes you were burning with dark magic. In some visions you saved my people, in others you destroyed them." Alira's heart started beating faster. "So which one is real?" she asked. The Alpha King looked at her directly. "That depends on the choices you make." His words felt heavier than chains. Then suddenly Alira felt pain inside her chest. Not physical pain at first, emotional pressure, like something inside her soul was stretching and trying to break free. She gasped quietly. The Alpha King noticed immediately. "What is wrong?" he asked sharply. "I feel something inside me," she said, "like something is waking up." Before he could respond, silver glowing symbols appeared faintly on her arms and neck. The symbols looked ancient. They were not human language. The Alpha King's face changed immediately. "Do not move," he said. He walked closer to her slowly. This time he did not stop with distance. He stood very close, studying the symbols carefully. "They are awakening marks," he said quietly. "The wolf god is trying to connect your soul to its magic." Alira felt panic. "Can you stop it?" she asked. The Alpha King hesitated. That hesitation hurt Alira more than fear. "I can slow it," he said finally. "But I cannot destroy it. The bond is too old, too powerful." He raised his hand slowly, not touching her, but placing his hand near her forehead. Warm golden magic flowed from him slowly. The pain in her chest began to calm. Alira closed her eyes briefly. For a moment, she felt safe. Then she realized something terrifying. She did not feel safe because of magic. She felt safe because of him. That realization made her heart feel confused and heavy. When she opened her eyes again, the Alpha King was watching her carefully. "You should not trust me easily," he said. "Why?" she asked softly. "Because one day I may have to choose between my kingdom and you." His honesty hurt her heart, but she respected it. Outside the castle, thunder suddenly rolled across the sky. The wolf howling became louder again, not just one wolf, many wolves, hundreds. The Alpha King turned sharply toward the window. "They are coming closer," he said. "Who?" Alira asked. "The wolf spirits," he answered. "They are waking because they feel your presence." Fear returned to Alira's chest. "What do they want from me?" she asked. The Alpha King was silent for a long time, then he spoke. "They want you to accept the wolf crown." Alira felt anger and fear at the same time. "I do not want power," she said. The Alpha King turned toward her. "That is exactly why you are dangerous," he said. "Power does not always choose people who want it. Sometimes it chooses people who can carry it without becoming monsters." His words stayed in her mind. Suddenly, the castle shook slightly, not violently. Just enough to feel like something huge was moving far beneath the mountain. The Alpha King's expression became dark. "The wolf god is waking faster than I expected," he said. "What happens if I refuse it completely?" Alira asked. He did not answer immediately. That silence was terrifying. Finally, he spoke. "If you refuse," he said quietly, "the curse will destroy you slowly, or it will try to control you against your will." Alira felt tears in her eyes. She did not want power. She did not want destiny. She only wanted her kingdom to be safe. The Alpha King noticed her tears. For a moment, something soft appeared in his expression, something almost gentle. "You are stronger than you think," he said quietly. Then he surprised her. He placed his hand briefly on her shoulder. This time he actually touched her. The touch was warm, protective, not demanding. Alira did not move away. Because for the first time since arriving at the Black Citadel, she did not feel like a prisoner. She felt like someone was standing beside her. But that peace did not last long, because outside the castle a giant wolf shadow appeared in the fog-covered mountains. Its glowing eyes were watching Alira directly, and inside her mind the ancient voice spoke again. "Choose, Queen of Destiny, Power, or Love." Alira felt her heart freeze, because she knew the choice was not simple. Power could save her kingdom. Love could save her soul, but destiny was already watching her, waiting for her to make the wrong decision. and the wolf shadow outside the castle began walking toward the black citadel slowly, like it already knew what choice she would make. The cursed mountains of Thornville Kingdom looked darker than usual. Storm clouds covered the sky like a heavy black blanket. Thunder rolled slowly in the distance, like a warning from old forgotten gods. The black citadel stood on top of the mountain like a lonely king watching over broken lands. Inside the castle, Elira could not sleep. Days had passed since the wolf spirit first spoke inside her mind. Since then, she felt changes inside her body and soul. Sometimes she felt stronger. Sometimes she felt like something inside her was trying to wake up and take control. She stood near the balcony of her chamber. Cold wind moved her silver hair gently. Her royal cloak moved like soft silver wings behind her. Below the mountain, she could see the cursed forest. Wolf eyes sometimes appeared between the trees at night. Not physical wolves, spirit wolves made of dark mist and blue light. They were watching the black citadel, watching her. Elira touched her chest slowly. The wolf magic marks had not disappeared. They were hidden under her skin, glowing softly when she felt strong emotions. And lately, she felt emotions she did not want to admit. Footsteps came from behind her. She did not need to turn to know who it was, the Alpha King. "You should not stand near the open balcony at night," he said. Elira turned slowly. He was wearing black royal clothes again, no armor, no weapons visible. But power still surrounded him like invisible pressure in the air. "I cannot sleep," she said softly. He stood beside her at a respectful distance. "You are thinking too much about destiny," he said. "How do you know?" she asked. He looked at the mountains. "Because I can feel it," he said. "The curse inside you is becoming stronger, and so is your fear." Elira felt slightly angry at that honesty. "I am not afraid," she said. The Alpha King looked at her directly. "You are lying," he said calmly. She did not respond immediately. Because he was right. She was afraid, not of the wolf god, not of war. She was afraid of something else, something she had not admitted to herself yet, the growing connection between her and the Alpha King. Silence stayed between them for a long time. Then Elira spoke. "Why did you choose me?" she asked quietly. The Alpha King did not answer immediately. He walked slowly toward the balcony railing. His golden eyes looked tired, like he was carrying centuries of responsibility. "You think I chose you," he said, "but I did not." Elira frowned slightly. "What do you mean?" "The wolf god chose you first," he said. "I only followed the signs." That answer made Elira feel uneasy. "So you are protecting me only because of destiny?" she asked. The Alpha King turned toward her. His expression was sharp. "No," he said immediately. The force in his voice surprised her. "I protect you because you are brave enough to stand against fate," he said. "Not many people can do that." Elira felt her heart warm slightly, but she was still afraid of her own feelings. Because she was starting to trust him, and trust was dangerous in a world built on power politics and ancient curses. Suddenly, a loud howl echoed across the mountains, not far away, very close. The Alpha King's body became tense instantly. "They are here," he said quietly. "Who?" Elira asked. "The spirit wolves," he answered. The wind around the castle suddenly changed direction. Cold air moved like something was moving toward them. Then the sky above the black citadel cracked with purple lightning. A giant shadow appeared inside the storm clouds. It was not a normal wolf. It was a wolf spirit larger than a castle tower. Its eyes burned silver-blue light. Elira felt fear and strange attraction at the same time. Inside her mind, the ancient voice spoke again. "Come to us, Queen of Wolves." Elira grabbed the balcony railing tightly. "I do not want your throne," she whispered angrily inside her mind. The spirit wolf growled in response inside her thoughts. "Then you will suffer until you accept it." Pain suddenly exploded inside Elira's chest. She gasped loudly. Silver magic symbols appeared on her arms again, glowing brighter than before. The Alpha King reacted immediately. He grabbed her shoulders gently. "Breathe slowly," he said firmly. His golden eyes were very close to hers. She could feel warmth from his magic. Calm protective energy moved slowly into her body, helping her control the pain. But this time, something was different. Elira felt her emotions growing stronger instead of weaker. She realized something terrifying and beautiful at the same time. She wanted him to stay close. Not because of magic, because of him. That realization made her heart feel like it was burning slowly. She remembered his words from earlier. "I protect you because you are brave." No one had ever told her that before. She felt tears in her eyes again. The Alpha King noticed. "You are crying," he said softly. I am confused, she said honestly. About what? About destiny, she said. About power and about you. He became very still after that. The wind around them became quieter. For a moment it felt like the entire world was waiting for his answer. You should not love me, he said quietly. Alira's heart hurt when she heard that. Why? She asked. Because I am a king of war, he said. I have done terrible things to protect my people. Alira looked at him carefully. And I am a princess of a kingdom that once fought wars too, she said. Does that make me a monster as well? He did not answer immediately, because he knew she was right. Then he said something very honest. If you love me, he said quietly, the wolf god will use that love to control you. Alira felt fear again, but also anger. Why does everything have to be about power? She asked. Why can't love exist without becoming a weapon? The Alpha King looked at her with something deep and painful in his eyes. Because this world was built by people who believed power was more important than love. Thunder rolled loudly in the sky. The spirit wolf above the mountains roared. The castle shook slightly. The Alpha King suddenly pulled Alira away from the balcony. Come inside, he said sharply. The spirit wolves are becoming aggressive tonight. They walked quickly through the castle halls, but Alira noticed something strange. The guards were afraid tonight, more than usual. When they reached the royal hall, one of the royal advisors rushed toward them. My king, the advisor said quickly, the spirit wolf clans are gathering outside the mountain borders. They are preparing for war. The Alpha King's expression became very cold. Because of her? Alira asked quietly. Yes, he said. Alira felt guilt growing inside her chest. I am bringing war to your kingdom, she said softly. The Alpha King turned toward her. No, he said. You are bringing change. His words surprised her. Then he said something even more shocking. If the wolf god claims you fully, he said, you will become the queen of wolf spirits. Alira felt cold fear. And if I refuse, she asked. He looked at her for a long time, then he spoke. Then I may have to fight the god itself. Those words made Alira's heart tighten painfully, because she knew what that meant. He was willing to risk everything, even his life, for her safety. Alira realized something she had been afraid to accept. She was starting to love him, and that love was dangerous. Because destiny was already moving like dark storm clouds above them, and somewhere in the cursed mountains, the wolf god was preparing its final choice for her. The night of destiny finally arrived. The sky above Thornville Kingdom was not dark, it was red. Not like fire, but like blood slowly spreading across the heavens. Lightning moved slowly through the clouds, shining like broken silver roots reaching across the sky. The cursed mountains were silent, too silent. Even the wolves were not howling tonight. Inside the black citadel, Alira stood in the great throne chamber. The silver moonlight fell through tall windows, touching the black stone floor. She was wearing simple white royal clothes, not royal war robes. She wanted to face destiny without the weight of a crown. But destiny did not care about clothes, it cared about souls. The Alpha King stood beside the throne. He was wearing black royal armor tonight, not for war, for protection. His golden eyes were calm, but Alira could see pain inside them. You do not have to do this, he said quietly. Alira shook her head slowly. If I do not choose, she said, the wolf god will choose for me. The Alpha King did not argue. He knew she was right. Outside the castle, the ground suddenly shook. Deep rumbling sounds came from the mountains. The spirit wolf army was coming. Alira walked slowly toward the throne room doors. The Alpha King followed her. You are not going alone, he said. She turned and looked at him. You know what might happen if I accept the wolf throne, she said. Yes, he replied. You might lose me, she said softly. The Alpha King was silent for a long time. Then he said something very simple. I would rather lose you than watch you suffer under the curse. Those words made tears gather in Alira's eyes, but she did not cry. She took a deep breath. Then she pushed open the throne room doors. Outside, the mountain sky was filled with spirit wolves. Hundreds of glowing eyes watched her from the dark clouds. Giant wolf spirits moved slowly around the black citadel like they were circling prey. At the center of the sky storm stood the largest wolf spirit, the wolf god. It was bigger than mountains. Its fur was made of dark shadow energy mixed with silver light. Its eyes burned like ancient stars. Inside Alira's mind, the voice spoke again. You have returned, chosen queen. Alira spoke out loud. I do not belong to you. The wolf god laughed inside her mind. All power belongs to someone. You cannot escape destiny. Pain suddenly exploded inside her chest. Silver wolf magic symbols appeared across her arms, neck, and chest. The magic was stronger than before, strong enough to almost make her lose control. The Alpha King stepped forward quickly, standing beside her. "You are stronger than this," he said firmly. Alira closed her eyes. She remembered everything, her kingdom, her people, the children who were still hungry. Then she remembered the Alpha King teaching her how to fight, how to survive, how to stand strong even when she was afraid. She opened her eyes again and spoke directly to the wolf god. "If I accept your throne," she said slowly, "what will you give me?" The spirit wolves became silent. The wolf god was surprised. "You dare negotiate?" "Yes," Alira said. "I am not weak. I am not a sacrifice. If I must carry power, then I want something in return." The wolf god studied her. Then it spoke. "You will have power, immortality, control over wolf spirits. You will rule as eternal queen of the cursed lands." Alira listened carefully. Then she asked one more question. "And my kingdom?" Silence. The wolf god spoke slowly. "Your kingdom will survive under wolf protection, but you must abandon human politics and live as queen of spirits." Alira felt pain in her heart. That meant leaving her people forever. But then she looked at the Alpha King. He did not speak. He was letting her choose freely. That was when she realized something. Power could save her kingdom, but love gave her something power could not, freedom of heart. She turned back toward the wolf god. "I reject your throne," she said clearly. The sky above the mountains went completely silent for 1 second. Then the wolf god roared in anger. Storm lightning exploded across the sky. The ground shook violently. The wolf god spoke inside her mind with rage. "Then you will die with your human heart." Dark magic energy rushed toward Alira like a storm wave. The Alpha King moved immediately. He stood in front of her and raised his hands. Golden royal magic burst from his body like sunlight fighting darkness. "Leave her," he shouted toward the sky. "You cannot fight destiny alone," the wolf god said. "I can if I must," the Alpha King answered. For the first time, Alira saw him fully reveal his power. Wolf shadow magic and royal golden magic mixed around him like a storm of light and darkness. He was protecting her even against ancient gods. Alira felt tears falling from her eyes because she understood something very clearly. She loved him, not because of destiny, not because of magic, but because he chose to stand beside her even when he knew it could destroy him. The wolf god attacked again. Dark spirit claws came down from the sky. The Alpha King created a barrier of golden magic, but it was starting to break. Alira felt something inside her soul snap open. The wolf magic inside her awakened completely. Silver wolf ears and glowing magical markings appeared on her body, not as control, but as acceptance of her own strength. She stepped forward beside the Alpha King. "I will not be your queen," she told the wolf god, "but I will protect my people as a human queen." She raised her hands. Her own magic mixed with the Alpha King's magic. Light and shadow combined into a powerful energy wave. They pushed the wolf god's spirit back into the storm clouds. The wolf god screamed in anger and pain. "You will regret this choice." Destiny cannot be killed. Then the spirit slowly disappeared into the dark sky. The storm clouds slowly faded. The red sky returned to normal night darkness. Silence fell across the kingdom. Alira almost fell to her knees from exhaustion. The Alpha King caught her before she fell. "You are very stubborn," he said softly. Alira smiled weakly. "You like that about me?" she said. He did not deny it. Instead, he placed his forehead gently against hers. "You saved yourself," he said. "Not me, not destiny, yourself." Alira felt peace for the first time since arriving at the Black Citadel. Days later, peace returned to Thornvale Kingdom. The wolf spirit clans agreed to a peace treaty. Alira returned home as a queen who ruled with kindness, strength, and wisdom. The Alpha King stayed beside her as a political and emotional partner, not as a conqueror. They built two kingdoms that worked together, not through fear, but through trust. Years later, people said the cursed mountains were no longer cursed. They said love had slowly changed the darkness. And on quiet nights, Alira and the Alpha King would stand together under silver moonlight, remembering the day she chose freedom over destiny. Because sometimes, the strongest magic in the world was not power. It was the courage to choose love.